Inflation isn't just an economic event, it's deeply political. When prices rise, you don't just feel it at the supermarket, you feel it in how people vote, how governments spend and how entire nations shift their policy. Every major inflation period in history has changed politics. In the 1970s, high inflation redefined leadership in the US and Europe. In the 90s, it shaped the rise of central bank independence. So let's strip away the technical talk and look at inflation for what it really is. A reflection of how governments handle pressure. Because inflation doesn't happen, it's often a result of policy choices. Think of inflation as a mirror that reflects the government behavior. Every administration wants two things: growth and stability. Inflation tests both. Too little inflation and people stop spending. Businesses slow down, jobs disappear. Too much inflation, living costs skyrocket, savings erode, and citizens lose trust. Politically, inflation is dangerous because it's immediate. Debt can be explained away, but inflation is visible, it's very visible. It's on every receipt, every bill, every price tag. And that visibility makes inflation a political problem, long before it becomes an economic one. Governments know this, which is why managing inflation isn't just about numbers, it's about narrative. So governments can actually influence inflation. And they do that by using three main levers they can pull: spending, borrowing and printing. Let's start with spending. When a government spends heavily on social programs, infrastructure or subsidies, it injects money into the economy. That boosts the activity, which feels good on short term. But if spending outpaces productivity, demand grows faster than supply and prices rise. Then comes borrowing. Governments issue bonds which investors buy. The state receives money now and promises to repay it later with interest. Borrowing is useful. It funds projects, wars, recovery plans. But if a country borrows too much, look at the US, it risks devaluing its own currency. And finally, printing, or more accurately, expanding the money supply. When central banks create more money to stimulate the economy, it can prevent a recession. Most countries separate monetary policy from direct politics through central banks. Institutions like the European Central Bank, the Federal Reserve and the Bank of England manage inflation targets, interest rates and currency stability. And governments can actually benefit from inflation. I'll tell you something that most people never consider. Governments quietly benefit from moderate inflation. When prices go up, so do tax revenues. VAT rises automatically because it's a percentage of prices. Inflation gives governments flexibility. They can spend, borrow and repay without formally cutting budgets or raising taxes. During high inflation, people lose confidence in leadership, even if the cost was global, like energy crisis or supply chain disruptions. Inflation, politically speaking, is the credibility test. It shows whether leaders can manage complexity under pressure. Historically, only few pass that test. Inflation also plays a global political role. Strong currencies represent strong governments. And that's why managing inflation isn't just domestic, it's international. The US dollar carries political power worldwide because it's seen as stable, even when inflation rises. Countries with chronic inflation, Argentina or Turkey, face ongoing credibility challenges. Their citizens often prefer saving in euros or dollars instead of their own currency, and that weakens the national control. Inflation, in that case, becomes a form of soft power. Nations that control it attract investment, trade and influence. Those that don't lose them. Inflation reveals leadership. It exposes how governments balance promises with reality. So what have we learned in this lesson? Inflation is political because it connects directly to people's trust. It's shaped by government policies, spending, borrowing and regulation. And it's managed by central banks that operate in the green area between independence and influence. Moderate inflation helps governments quietly manage debt. But when it rises too far, it can shake the foundation of leadership itself. Inflation is more than numbers, it's a test of credibility. In the next episode, we'll step into the economic lens, exploring how inflation moves beyond national borders, reshaping trade, investment and global power. Thank you for watching. My name is Remco Coerman and this is the Coerman Class. Finance and Business School sponsored by Epic Edges. See you in the next episode.